Hello again everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're down here at the Cruising Yacht Club of South Australia once again. Beautiful day, we're well into the depths of spring and enjoying the weather. And we're on board a 2012 Bavaria Vision 46. Now this was the first Bavaria Vision 46 to actually be delivered into Australia. It's a one-owner boat, so the owner that took delivery and commissioned it is still the current owner, and it's come time for him to sell it and move on. So we're going to have a good look over the boat, general walk around the outside, we'll get it out on the water shortly and just have a look at the general condition, go through some of the options that make the Vision sort of stand out from the rest. And this boat was fairly well optioned from factory, so let's jump on board and have a good look around. So starting at the stern of the boat, you can see these are quite a beamy vessel and have a nice high transom, purely because the freeboard on the 46 Vision is quite substantial, and this gives you quite a few benefits. Not only does it make it quite a dry boat, but it gives you a lot of headroom inside. I think it's around 6.5 feet headroom, fairly well throughout most of the boat. You can see the massive side windows here just give you a lot of natural light, and when we get up on deck, all the hatches we've got in there to let the breeze through and let that light through. You can see this boat was optioned with the full teak decks as well as the teak cockpit, and it's a stunning colour, that beautiful grey silver. They've got a fold down transom for boarding with an extra step. Straight away you'll start to notice that these boats, the owner version, are substantial with their storage. So down in here you can see all storage, easy access down into your steering, into your rudder posts, but heaps of room in here for when you're going away, whether it's tenders, outboards, that sort of thing. The seat folds up here for easy access. There's a singular davit at the back here. Dual helm. Again, storage all through here. Under here. Engine controls down under there. Out the main helm, the starboard side, you can notice straight away we've got joystick docking. So this was optioned with the bow and the stern thruster with the joystick docking option. So that's a fantastic upgrade. You know, these boats are perfectly well managed without it, but excellent to have that on board from new for the new owner. You know, Garmin instrumentation and autopilot. They're all your winches on this boat. They're your Lumar upgraded winch package from factory, and these are all electric winches, electric hallied winch, electric primary winches, and you'll notice that they run the Bavaria C-trim control system. So basically push button trimming on this boat if that's something you fancy. Obviously if you're out and about on a beautiful day like today and really enjoying the weather and the guests, it takes the stress out of having to have anybody on these winches manually. So it's really handy to make cruising an absolute delight on this boat. You can also see it's a rather large cockpit in general. There's a heap of room and seating in here all around, and the table here folds down so you can have basically double the length table, and this is fully adjustable. It's electronic adjusted, so you can lower and bring up this table with a push of a button. Again, just making everything really easy. From the look of it, this does turn into a sunbed from memory, but all of that will be in the description below. Spray dodger, bimini, lots of cover under here, lots of shade, and again just immense amount of room in these Bavarias. We've done one of these before. We'll go for a walk on the decks before heading downstairs, but again, electric hallied winch, everything back to the cockpit, so you're not moving forward to the mast really for any reason on these. As you can see there again, the teak decks, and look at this, there's a huge amount of deck space up here. You'll notice it's in-mast furling, again from factory, and deck, well, what they'd call a flush furler or below deck furling system as well. So the bow and everything's really quite neat out of the weather, but you can just see the sheer size of these boats and the height on that freeboard. All the hatches I mentioned, so every part of the cabin not only gets lovely natural light but plenty of breeze to move through this model. And the teak itself looks to be very tidy. There's no major wear or tear on these decks. The boat itself, it's never been raced, is my understanding. It's only been lightly cruised. There's about 600 odd hours on the engine and about 750 on the genset. So again, we'll have a look at the equipment, but this is optioned with the genset, and it was optioned with the upgraded 75 horsepower engine instead of the standard 55. To give you a bit of an idea of some more of the storage, this goes down into I suppose what we can call the garage. A huge amount of sectioned out storage. This can all be removed if you'd like, partition storage, but the access internally, which we'll see, is behind one of the showers. So that's again fantastic storage. You can get away cruising on these boats and pretty much not have anything cluttered or out and about, purely because of the amount of room you've got. So let's have a jump down below and have a walk through and see how she presents. So stepping down below, good setup with some grab rails here, nice big open entrance, and 4 steps down, and you can just see you're greeted with such an amazing light, bright, roomy interior on these boats. Even with the blinds down on the starboard side and no cabin lights on currently, you can just see how inviting these interiors are. We'll go straight to the nav station. Seating either side, this drops down, becomes basically a lounge or another berth. I'll just turn the cabin lights on there. Instrumentation just accessible by the nav table there. A little bit of a office desk, room for some charts, but everything push button for bilges, music, anchors, all of your electronics right there in front of you. Easy to sort of navigate, as you can see, what you're switching on. Boat's running a Fusion sound system, and as we back around, lovely galley setup here, so everything can be covered, giving quite a large amount of service area, bench space. Now, refrigeration on this boat is huge, front opening and top opening. So nice big Waco fridge setup. 2 stainless steel sinks, a rinse down and a wash with a stainless steel faucet, gas, oven and 2 burner stove. Plenty of cupboard space at the back there, and cupboard and drawer space within the galley itself. Lovely little spot there for some wine. But in the main salon area, again, you've got a table. This folds out, creating quite a large dining table, which is height adjustable again. It's a lovely little L-shaped lounge here. Really well set up for comfort, storage. These are all the hatches we were seeing from above, letting in all that beautiful light. You can see all the timber works. Looking really good for the age of the boat. So is all the floor timbers. And you'll notice, walking through the boat, all of these little bits of access. You can get down to tanks, storage, sort of anything that you'd want to be able to get to service, hot water service. Very accessible on these boats, very well thought out at the time. So you can see it all comes up in all the places you'll want to get. Moving forward, this is the V-berth cabin. You step down into here, so even though the cabin starts to taper, you still maintain well over 6 foot all the way up to the bed. There's over 6 foot headroom. So you've got some headboard storage up forward. Lovely double bed here, hanging storage to either side, and your own personal ensuite within the cabin. So that's a fully electric toilet, this one. Lovely wet area. So there's a pull-out shower and basin. And moving back through the main cabin, lovely stainless grab rails on the ceiling there, either side, so there's plenty of things to grab onto for safety when coming in. Second head and shower. It's quite large and roomy. So this is a manual Jabsco back here. Again, lots of room for storage. A very large shower, standalone shower with screen. Again, a massive amount of headroom. And this is what we were talking about when we were in the cockpit earlier. This is access into that garage, so you can get a real sense for how much storage is actually back here. Room to store everything. Backrests, these hang over the lifeline so people can sit up against those comfortably without them digging into the back. Spare lines, spare fenders, cleaning equipment. A huge amount of storage. So that's the garage. And we'll walk back through this main salon area and into the aft cabin behind the galley. Again, huge cabin. I call it the guest cabin. You can see with the inserts in the middle, you can have 2 singles or turn this into easily what is a queen bed here. Quite a lot of room across, so great if you want to cram some kids in. Generator controls are back here, and if we'll just close the door, this is where we have access to the genset. So that's the genset right there in front of us, quite easy. So for your mechanic, whether you're mechanically minded or you've obviously hired someone, it's easily accessible, which is good to see. We'll just close that up again. And down here is the side access to the engine. There's your D275, and you can just see the bilges are nice and tidy. There's no real corrosion anywhere that I can see presenting. Everything's looking very, very tidy down there. great engine, and with that 75 horsepower upgrade, you're definitely not lacking power and drive on this boat, manoeuvrability. You know, you're not sacrificing really any fuel consumption for the extra 20 horsepower, for that extra bit of oomph. And there's also access into some of the ship systems under your initial companionway. Other side of the engine, again, you can see that's very presentable. So again, well thought out, good access to either side of that motor. But we won't go through absolutely everything today, but you can get the full specifications online with the options list, the inventory of what this boat is fitted with and what it comes with. But otherwise, this is Grand Act, Bavaria Vision 46, one owner and ready to sail again. So we hope you enjoyed this video. As always, we'll see you next time.